What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? Let's get some music started in here. If you want to play some music. Okay, there. Hold on. Uh-oh. I don't see the music. I don't see the music gauge working. Oh, shuckies. And I'm glad. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the music is on. We in here. We're live. Jeremy Moe, Dusty Aran, Vet Cloud Gaming. Good to see y'all. Let me know if this music is too loud, because something has happened with Streamlabs. Streamlabs always messes up and does something funky, and they've done it again. They've outdone themselves again. So and I'm glad that I pushed this back 30 minutes when I really should have only needed 15 minutes. I'll explain all that in a little bit of what I was doing, but I pushed it back, and I was like, I only need 15 minutes. And something was like, no, because you got to deal with Streamlabs, so you might need another 15 minutes on top of that. But what's up, everybody? Good to see everybody. Thank y'all for coming through. This is SLS featuring MM2K. Do us a huge favor. Tweet this out. Let people know that we're live. A lot of people might not know that we're live, because I haven't done a lot of live public stuff here recently. While we're doing that, here, let me do this. Because I already put it on Twitter. I haven't put it on Facebook yet. Let me see. Let's get the gaming groups out here. Let me do something like this. So come on, there we go. I was thinking about it. I was like, ever since I stopped doing the show more as frequently as I have, I don't have problems going live and doing stuff. This seems to be the only show that I have to where I could be like 30 minutes early and I need 35 minutes to go live. All right, that's game specific. I don't want that. But what's up with everybody again? Let me know how the audio levels are, because we got a hell of a show for you today. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about this Geforce NOW stuff, but I'm not gonna keep you forever. Because basically today's my anniversary, and I gotta, and I didn't get nothing from the wife yet. Oh, and you know how that's gonna happen, how that's gonna go down if I don't hurry up and go pick something up. And yeah, I just don't want to be long today. You know what I mean? I just don't want to be long because I got some gaming to do once I get back, before my wife gets home and takes and sucks the oxygen out of all my fun. No, I'm just joking. I love my wife. I know it doesn't seem like an MM2K, but I love my wife. So we're gonna talk about some awesome stuff that I heard from Geforce NOW. I got a chance to sit down with those awesome folkies, and we're gonna talk about what was said in the sit down. Also, it's open mic, so we're gonna talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Y'all want to pick my brain? They got questions on MM2K, where you been at? I've been hearing that a lot. Anything else that you want to talk about in cloud gaming? I talked to myself at a long conversation with myself. I looked myself in the mirror, and after saying to myself, "Damn, you're a gorgeous individual," I said, "You know what, bro? When you go live today, do not decimate Xbox. Talk about how great. Don't be like the PlayStation ponies that when they go live, all they can do is talk about Xbox and how horrible Xbox is. And don't do that. Go in there and talk about what you're liking in cloud gaming, and talk about Geforce NOW and how it's really sustaining your cloud gaming life and doing some cool things along the way. Do that. But do not go and just randomly hate on Xbox." And I said, okay, I can do that, because I can tell that it's getting under some people's skins. But all I can say to that is, I'm not one to preach to the choir. It's like, shout out to my homie, he was so many names. My good friend Brian, part of the Stadia initiative way back when. Matter of fact, speaking of that, we were working on something and somebody was asking me, because we got some more content coming, and somebody was asking me, what type of format is it that you're looking for? And I had to go back in the archives and pull one of those episodes out and show them and say, this is what we're looking for. And it was like, oh, smack. Okay, that's what's up. So, but Brian told you guys a long time ago, I may not say what you want to hear, but I say what you need to hear. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to decimate something that you're enjoying. If you like it, I love it. I just don't. I just ain't using. I'm just not buying it, you know. But that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it in peace. You like what you like. I've always said you can't be wrong for what you like. All right. Well, particularly when it comes to gaming. If you like the destruction of the world, then you can't be wrong about that. But all right. So again, do us a huge favor. Let people know that we're live. We're going to be kicking it. We're going to be doing some things, man. We're going to talk about, again, this awesome conversation that I had with Geforce NOW. It was a great conversation. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull it up. Yo, we got... Let me shout. Well, I'm gonna let a few more of you guys come in. Then we're gonna shout some of you guys out. Let me get. Matter of fact, let me pull up a lot of this stuff that they sent me post our conversation. That's not it. Oh, yeah, I don't want to pull that up. I can't see that yet. You cannot see that yet. Hey man, but you know, when the time is right, I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all see it. All right, so here, come on, man. I ain't got time for this crap. Let me see. Is that what I'm looking for? Let's open this in a new tab. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. I think this is it. Copy. Can I copy the link? Oh, man. Okay. Open with. Let's open it. Can we open it with Google Docs? I think we could open it with Google Docs. And they're snapping and dancing to the song. Come on. I don't think Google Docs is gonna work. I think I should have picked Google Slides. Nah, it ain't gonna work. Let's try open it with Google Slides. What? Why wouldn't you be able to open this with Google Slides? Come on. What are you doing, Google? Slides translator. I've never heard of that. Now I got it. Oh man. Come on, bruh. Just open with Google Slides. Oh, Lord Jesus, help us. Help us all. How do I go to the next page? Okay. All right. I think we're in a good spot. I just don't want y'all, there's just some things that I don't want y'all to see because it's not ready for y'all to see it yet. But I know what we'll do. We'll just switch in between different scenes to make sure you guys don't see what you can't see. All right, but shout out to everybody in the house. Again, let everybody know that we're here. Let me shout some of y'all out. Let's see, let's go to social. We got the homie Dusty Aran in the house. He says, yo. He says, hello gang, what's going on? Yo. He says, been playing Nobody Saves the World on xCloud with my Luna controller this morning. Game deck is free on Epic and playable on GFN. We got Sanchez Gaming in the house. Yo, what's going on? Suna says, did you ask anything about the UI, the TV app? It needs it the most. Sanchez says, where are the Dirty Blasters playing after Stadia shuts down? First, let me go back to Suna's question. Suna, I'm going to hold this for the actual presentation part. Very good question. So I'll get back to this one. This is a good one. Shay Capo in the house. What's going on, good brother? Good to see you. Where did the Dirty Blasters play after Stadia shuts down? Well, right now, Sanchez, we're playing on we're playing in a variety of places, but it's either a PC or PC conduit, meaning because the old Dirty Blasters is a clan that's set up on PC. It's not set up on console. Like even when we set it up on Stadia, it was all through the PC conduit situation, meaning if you're on Amazon Luna, you're on Geforce Now, you're on a PC, or you were on Stadia, you could become part of the old Dirty Blasters. But now that I know, I get that everybody's everywhere else, and there's a lot of people that are playing on PlayStation and Xbox. But here's the thing with PlayStation and Xbox, like this, like the old Dirty Blasters is a co-op or a cross-play team, and the biggest cross-play possibility is of the PC conduits. We still want to be connected to cloud gaming, and we want to spread to as many platforms as we can. Unfortunately, I get that a lot of people took their Stadia refunds and they bought consoles instead because they felt safer that way, and I get it. I don't blame you, but going to the hardware, even if you are piggybacking off of xCloud, still kind of takes it out of the realm of where we want to be, because xCloud doesn't let you enjoy a la carte purchases. And that's not me being snide or anything, just the way that it is. They said it was coming at the end of 2022. We haven't seen it yet. So we really don't have the initiative set for the Xbox or the PlayStation side yet. We actually had a PlayStation. We have a PlayStation member. Dude, I forgot homie's name, but dude was watching me play on CloudDosage. He said, bro, y'all got a PlayStation clan? Like, no. Unfortunately, this is all if you got a PC, you know what I'm saying, you can become part of the clan. And he's like, yeah, I got a PC copy. He said, I'll rock with y'all. And he came over and rocked out with us. So yeah, we're going to stay on that PC side of it, because the PC side gives us the most open space to operate and to collaborate with different gamers. You know what I'm saying? And and again, there's a lot of gamers that don't have access to Amazon Luna. It is my suggestion that you possibly get it if you can. It's the best performing platform next to GFN. I personally prefer playing on Luna at 1080p over the priority. Now, as far as performance is concerned, in my eyes, nothing touches the GFN Ultimate tier. But if I was like a priority member and I had access to Luna and GFN, I would still play on GFN, but I feel better playing on Luna, because Luna is the closest thing to the balance of what Stadia was presenting in my eyes. And then now that they're letting you access all your Ubisoft games individually like you can on GFN, if you got Luna, you're not doing too bad. You know what I'm saying? So my suggestion is that get Luna or get GFN Priority. GFN Priority is great as well. Y'all know where my money's on. It's on GFN Ultimate. So yeah, Sanchez, I'm not sure if you maybe converted over to Xbox or anything like that. But hey, if you want to be the head of Old Dirty Blasters on the console wing, we'll do an Old Dirty Blasters over on console. I do have a PlayStation copy. So if you want to get down on PlayStation, I got some nights down the road. I got to be honest, down the road, we are going to revamp and bring back the Old Dirty Blasters content. And what I mean is we had the Old Dirty Blasters show. There was only one show. That's where the Old Dirty Blasters got together and we were talking about the games that were in our docket. But we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. There's just some other things that are of a higher priority right now that are going to come out first. So stay tuned to that. And Sanchez, if you want to get down and I mean, I don't know where you're playing, but if consoles where you're playing and you want to do the Old Dirty Blasters wing over on PlayStation or Xbox, man, let me know. We'll make you the official, the Cardinal official. All right, let's get to everybody. PS5 Sanchez, nah, I mean, I rock with my PS5. Yo, ER in the house. What's going on, good brother? CloudDosage in the house as always. Luna runs great, just only in the States though. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's their Achilles heel. Again, tweet us out, let people know that we're live. We're gonna be talking about some great things that we got from this GFN presentation. So let me just backtrack a little bit and let people know how this all came about. And again, let me know if the audio levels are high, because they seem high to me. But I don't want to mess with stuff if they're okay. And again, this is an open mic, so at any given moment, if I see a comment from you, I'll put it out there on the board. Can I do some self-promo real quick? Can I please do some self-promo real quick? All right, give me a second. If I could do some self-promo real quick. All right. So you know how we do. Let me show you something. This is the PNTS Network site. This is the mother site of like CloudDosage and a lot of other things that we're doing. There is a huge partnership that's about to happen, and PNTS Network is involved. That's all I'm going to say right now. There's a huge, we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's on it, but there's a huge, and Eddie's probably in the chat. Eddie, I got to meet with you guys because I talked to Jack, but this is going to be awesome. This is going to be totally awesome, but I got to meet with everybody, or if Jack wants to make everyone aware, it's gonna broaden the horizons and expand our access and our reach significantly. But this is our website where we do everything. We don't just do cloud gaming. We do PlayStation 5, PC gaming. We do anime. Like we got my homie Squids Gaming doing Callisto Protocol on his newly built PC. And we got all of our podcasts, whether it's a cloud gaming podcast or anime podcast. This podcast right here is, our end of the year special podcast for Hard Knock Digital Culture. So check us out there. We're going to be doing some giveaways. There's a couple. Once we get the store back up, we have a merchandise store. Once we get the merchandise store back up and everything is complete, we're going to we're going to be doing some giveaways. Speaking of the Old Dirty Blasters, if you go to the Old Dirty Blasters page on PNTS Network, you can click for access. So if you have interest to join the Old Dirty Blasters and join us on one of the PC or PC conduits, or if you want to be part of the console expansion, just go fill out the form, let us know. All right, so that's that. Now, another thing I want to show you guys and gals is that, again, I'm real big on GFN. I love it. It's my favorite cloud platform. Really, it's my favorite way to game right now. 90% of my time goes into GFN. Before the 4080 tier even hits, we're talking about playing your favorite PC games in ultra settings, 60 frames per second, you know what I'm saying, consistently. 4K gaming, it's beautiful. As a matter of fact, the reason why I'm late and I had to push this back 30 minutes, is I was over there playing Division 2 because I wanted to see the global event. Had a blast, and I'm doing it through something called the Quality Stream Series, where I take my game, I crank up the visuals, and we put it out there for you guys to see over on CloudDosage or Hard Knock Digital Culture, anywhere. I was over there playing that, and I was at the end with the boss. I'm like, look, I got to get my game in it, man. I've been slacking all week, so that's why we pushed this back a half an hour. That being said, when you see this game, like GFN is already cranked up to 1 billion performance wise. When you see me crank it up even further, your face is gonna melt. We got, matter of fact, we got an article on pntsnetwork.com where we show you the best of the best of our quality stream series. Here it goes right here. Here goes the article. It says must see quality streams in Ultra 4K. So if you go to pntsnetwork.com and look for that article, it'll give you some of our best streams. Like we got Deathloop via PS5. That looks fantastic. Outriders on Geforce Now. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a tie between Deathloop and Outriders. I'm gonna say Outriders might edge it out, but the PlayStation, Deathloop on the PlayStation 5, my God, looks fantastic. They really worked on that. So you're gonna want to check that out. Yeah, we got Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Oh, I forgot about this one. This one looks great too. Far Cry. We got some Cyberpunk. Where we really crank it up. We really crank up the stream quality, so you can really see all the edges, the shades. It's just crazy. So go check that out. Now, this is what I want to show you guys. If you're in the GeForce Now like me, and you appreciate what CloudDosage does, but you really want to know what's going on with GeForce Now, here's what you can do. And really, you can do this with other platforms as well. But with GeForce Now, you can go and just type in simply gfn.clouddosage.com. That's what I have right here in the window. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna hit enter. And when I do that, that takes me to the GeForce Now page at CloudDosage. That it just scoops up and filters all of the CloudDosage GFN stuff right here. And there's there's an RSS feed I think you can set up for that as well. So you can't beat that with a stick. So definitely check that out. I think the RSS feed, if you go to the bar, I'm not 100% sure. It may not be set up yet. Eddie can probably let me know in the chat, but definitely check it out. Check that out. There's a lot of stuff over at CloudDosage you're going to want to take a look at as well. All right. With that said, let's talk a little bit about how I got to this meeting. What happened was, you guys should know that from the history, I didn't always say the nicest and most courteous things about GeForce Now. Because I have to be honest with you, at the time I didn't like it. I'm always gonna salute Stadia and what they were offering at a balanced level. I'm always gonna look at that vision and salute that as the best approach to cloud gaming. Yes, fidelity is key, and yes, there were some hiccups along the way that Stadia was experiencing, but overall, for the most part, I enjoyed the fidelity, I enjoyed the performance. And it got to a point to where it lost the crown for fidelity and performance, but it was still good enough to where you combine it with the convenience that it offered. You couldn't beat it with a stick. So there, a lot of us, we're still going to feel lost without Stadia. I did this thing the other day where I was sitting with Vet and I was explaining to him, look, I'm looking at all the major cloud services, where I'm really bumping them up against bumping them up at a litmus versus Stadia, where Stadia is the crown holder for me as far as the cloud gaming approach. And I gave that a 4 out of 5. And the closest out of that was GFN's 3080 tier, because even though it beats it in performance, and stuff like that and latency, Stadia still had the upper hand in convenience. So how did I get from rating GFN's particularly their ultimate tier a 3.9 out of 5 and having it like 0.1 behind Stadia from at the beginning? I think I ranked it like a 3 or something like that. I really wasn't fond of the service. Well, it wasn't. How did I get here? Because GFN grabbed me by the collarbone and said, get over here. Well, they did a Scorpio. Look, let me tell you something. Even the 3080 tier, when it first came out, I wasn't a fan of it. When it first hit the market, what I looked at is how good the performance and the latency was versus what I got for Stadia and what I was being asked to pay. And originally during the launch period, when I got access to it, I said, yeah, there are things that are better, but I don't think it's $100 every 6 months better. And so then I ignored the platform. Well, over time, GFN just wasn't done. Over time, they enhanced the service, and I think the game changer was the AI upscaling. Like when they added the AI upscaling to it, you had top-notch latency that they've had since they released the 3080 tier. There was no doubt about that. I'm gonna call it generation 1. We're gonna do something different here. We're gonna call it Gen 1 GFN Ultimate. GFN Ultimate Gen 1. Latency was top notch from the beginning, right? But that AI upscaling made it even more granular. It made it even more fantastic. So when I started playing it again, I was like, wow, this is so much better. Still preferred Stadia, but I'm like, damn, this is pretty good. Then Stadia was announced to be shut down. And I think I ended up doing what a lot of us did. I was concerned about gamers that really didn't have anywhere to go for the future. But then gamers that kind of knew what they wanted to do, they just immediately start looking elsewhere. And we kind of abandoned Stadia because it was a shame, and it was a shame, and it left a sour taste in your mouth that after so much support for that platform and after so much that is done to roping people into gaming and making people's gaming lives simple, it was just going away. And people have many emotions about how they feel about Google's decision. I won't get into all that, but I will say that the effects were that it didn't make people feel good about that decision. So people wanted to just get past that. I get it. That's why people were coming here to this stream talking about, why are we still talking about Stadia? Because it stung them to hear about Stadia, right? So people moved on. And a lot of people moved on to GFN. I think a lot more people moved on to Xbox, and that's fine. So I started trying the 3080 tier even more. I said, I got to figure out where I'm going to go. Because I looked at everywhere. I like Amazon Luna, but I'm not the keenest on their game selection, even though most of the time I play Ubisoft games anyway. I'm not the keenest on the game selection, and I'm really turned off by the 1080 maximum. I looked at Xbox. Xbox has the same problem. There are some games within their catalog that I was like, you know what? Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing that. And I would even deal with it in 1080. But there's a variety of performance issues on why I didn't go to Xbox. So then I looked at Geforce NOW and I said, damn, this is expensive. And, you know, except for the free-to-play games, I gotta buy everything individually, to where that's what made Stadia that great hybrid, to where, you know, you can go months without buying anything because there was stuff that would land in Stadia Pro that you either thought about buying but ended up landing in Pro, or just it landed in pro day and date, and it took up your time, and they were great community games as well. You know what I mean? And on top of that, again, I'm subscribed to Ubisoft Plus, so the combo of having a game here and there that I could buy, but you know, maybe I could wait it out for Stadia Pro, having a game that could land in Stadia Pro day and date, like World War Z, that would really grab my attention. Those were all things that, again, made Stadia unique and really made the purchase model a lot better than people were trying to make it sound. But anyway, that being said, I tried Geforce Now. I was like, damn, this is going to be costly. But then when I started playing it, I said, this is worth it. You know what I'm saying? I played Division, got Dark Tide, for Warhammer, Dark Tide, started playing some Crisis on there, started playing some other games, and I've been hooked. And particularly for someone like me that's a streamer, it may not be as convenient as Stadia, but two things. Number one, it's still convenient in the fact to where I'm not sucking up hardware resources to get this fantastic fidelity. And for two, GFN isn't done. They're not. I'm going to tell you this. Geforce Now doesn't benefit from the type of community that Stadia does. Like, Stadia's big driver was the community and the community support, because it's that grassroots marketing that does have a level of success to it, but I think they needed to add more to get the type of success that they were looking for. But that's kind of not really GFN's thing. GFN simply wants to add, create a lane for you who normally couldn't get access to the hardware, whether you couldn't afford it or you just couldn't obtain one, to really bridge that gap and give you an opportunity to enjoy PC gaming with the NVIDIA technology, the greatness of the NVIDIA technology. And here's the thing too. A lot of people say, well, why would NVIDIA care about that? Why would they do something like that? Well, one, NVIDIA is all about enhancing PC gaming. And two, they got some great AI technology that the more people that utilize this AI technology, the better it's going to get. So it's common sense in so many ways. And that's why, even though you see other people, and this is what I really like about GFN, and this is why they're my favorite. And this is why, again, I'm not trying to persuade anybody to indulge themselves in something they may not like. But I know there's a lot of you out there that could give GFN a try, and you're just not doing it because of past things that involve Stadia. And I'm here to tell you, as someone who operates with integrity, I'm not gonna partner or showcase anything with anybody that I think is doing something scrupulous. I'm not. I'm here for the community. I'm not here to lift up any company. I'm here for the community. And if I really think something's going to benefit the people, that's why I'll scream from the rooftops at it. Like, me and Stadia's relationship hasn't always been the best. You know what I mean? I wasn't Google's favorite person of the year award. There's been things that have happened, behind the scenes that, I'm pretty sure they was like, I wish this guy would stop making content. You know what I'm saying? That being said, I continue to give a claim to the platform because of what it was doing for the people. So I want to say with GFN, I know there was, some contentious things that may have happened, and some people may have felt a way about how some things were perceived. That's all in the past. That's all in the past. What I can confirm for you today is that the direction that GFN is in is that they are trying to do that work for the people. They're really trying to bridge that gap between who you are as a gamer and what you can access. If you can access a 4090 card and plug it into your hardware and play it with no problem, and that's fine with you, continue to do that. You don't have to give GFN a look, because that still benefits who? NVIDIA. But if you're somebody who looks at that 4090 and you're like, damn, like to have that, but I can't access it right now. I really want it for gaming to get the better output. These new games keep coming out. They keep getting heavier in resources, and I would love a way to be able to keep playing them. Like, for instance, with me, with Far Cry 6. It really upset me that I had just bought my 3070, excuse me. And literally a few months after buying my 3070, I couldn't even load the HD assets on Far Cry anymore because the virtual memory needed far exceeded what was possible on my 3070. In comes GFN. GFN wiped that problem and took it away, and they're continuing to do that. And here's what I can tell you, that they are looking to bridge that gap for the people that may be disenfranchised. Don't have $1,500 for a 4090 or whatever the cost, fine. GFN, the Geforce NOW Ultimate tier is for you. And here's what I have to say about Geforce NOW that I'm really going to say far exceeds these other platforms. The other platforms are great. I have access to all of them. You know what I'm saying? I see things with Luna and then Boosteroid's catalog, and there's people that like Xbox's catalog. I get it. But here's what I got to say about GFN. Especially when it comes to the big three. I don't want to shade Boosteroid at all, because Boosteroid is looking to do some things. But again, the ones that ushered us into this current cloud gaming era were Stadia, who's no longer here, GFN, xCloud, and Luna. So of the big three, which is GFN, xCloud, and Luna, of those big three, you see the other ones scaling back. Promises not being kept. Catalogs decreasing. Things in limbo as far, But the only one that you see out of the big three that's really taking it to the next level, that's really making a name and shutting up all the critics for cloud gaming. Like, you can no longer say that cloud gaming cannot look as good as dedicated device gaming. You can no longer say that cloud gaming doesn't feel as good as dedicated device gaming. Those are the two biggest whoop-to-dos about cloud gaming. Oh, it ain't gonna look good. It'll never look as good. It'll never feel as good. What is the quote? 60 milliseconds from pixel to touch input. When they tested this thing out, it was 5 times. I mean, it had more, what do you call it? It definitely had more teraflops than the Xbox Series X, but it also had less latency. I'm about to show you that. I'm gonna show you guys that shortly. You can say that because of who? Not Xbox, not Luna. You can say that because of GFN. So really, the cloud gaming platform that is tearing down the walls and the barriers that we need to tore down to help cloud gaming get the flowers that it deserves. So a lot of these article writers and people out here that like to bloviate and misconstrue things, that they can be silenced. Who's breaking down those walls? It's GFN. That's why I say to you guys and gals today, throw away all that crap that happened in the past. Don't even worry about it. I wouldn't be here telling you. I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm not getting sponsored to say this. I'm someone that's still objectively looking at all these platforms. When I see something good happening, for instance, with Boosteroid, or, when I say, don't worry about Luna, I just think that you're scaling back or whatever. You'll see me go out there and say that. But I'm letting you know, as someone who is connected to mainstream game thinking, and when a lot of people in this cloud community were saying, oh, this is the thing that's going to turn the tide for cloud gaming, and I kept saying, it is not touching at the core of the things that make dedicated gamers or dedicated device gamers go, wow, now cloud gaming is serious. GFN is tearing down those walls. We need those walls tore down, because if you want cloud gaming to grow, there has to be saturation. I'm big on the technology, and I'm gonna get to that. And there's a promising aspect of that potentially with GFN. I'm gonna get to that. But there's a technology aspect to, yes, we want dedicated cloud games, and we want to see cloud gaming not just be a conduit. Perfect, not a problem. Absolutely right, yes. But again, you got to ask yourself, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? And my theory is the chicken, and the chicken is the thing that people want the most. And what do people want the most? They want to know that their games are going to feel good, if not better, and look good, if not better, when it comes to this cloud gaming thing. And who does that the best? GFN. That's going to have the biggest impact on helping cloud gaming get into mainstream gaming. That's what's going to do it. So here's the thing. Tear down that apprehension. Give Geforce Now a try. There's many avenues. People doing giveaways and stuff like that all the time. If I'm able to do some, I'll let you guys know. But check it out. And we do giveaways all the time. Like if you become a member, if you're a member of this channel, you'll get a $50 gift certificate towards your favorite cloud platform. You'll get entered to a raffle for that every month. But they are tearing down that wall. They are making the hopes that we have as a cloud community possible, that this becomes mainstream. It's ultimate stuff. Let me go to the chat a little bit, and then I'm going to show you some of the data that they've shown me. And I'm going to talk about the really awesome and promising thing that they told me about. All right, so we got Jay Smith in the house. He says, what's good, man? What's going on, Jay? We got Ron Slusher in the house. ER says, it still hurts with Stadia closing in 6 days. Me and Lad don't have anywhere to play FIFA right now. Well, you can try. I know it's not 4K. ER, I'm not sure what area you're in, but give Boosteroid a shot. I know it went down temporarily because there was the problems with the EA app, and they were very transparent about that. And I know people were like, oh, well, that's the end of that Ponzi scheme. It's Bernie Madoff's grandson that's behind Boosteroid, right? And then they brought the game back up. And I can tell you, as someone that has heavily researched, I have friends that are lawyers when it comes to digital media. We got to understand how this works. We don't in a lot of ways, because we're cloud gamers and a lot of us are new to this. We've been separated from gaming, so we don't understand how this works. If at this, I can't speak for Boosteroid as a whole because I'm not part of the board. I've never been to Ukraine in my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what everything that they do, but I've been in Google, but I've never been at Stadia or GFN or at Redman at Xbox. So I don't know what any of these companies do at a total level. But what I can tell you is that at this juncture, as far as how they obtain games and what games they're putting on their service, all that, there's something nefarious going on. Conversation, for lack of a better term, is rubbish. If you understand the laws behind digital media, things that, you know, the MPAA leaders, and I don't know if he still runs it, but people like former Senator Chris Dodd have been able to do as far as influencing the government to act fastly when there's digital media issues and things, and servers that are doing illicit things with people's IPs. If what Boosteroid was doing was nefarious at the level that people are trying to make it seem like, an FBI raid would have happened 10 times over. Now, the concern may be, well, the methodology that's being used on a technical aspect. How sound is it? How reliable is it? Games have gone down on other platforms as well for weeks, months, and all the other stuff. So, I mean, it's really up to the individual user. But if you have access to Boosteroid, it's available there. And my hope too is that along with Boosteroid, that we see GFN, and they've given the indication they're really working hard. They have a very great, very clever strategy with third-party vendors that I was like, wow, that's really smart. That why they're seeing more and more games. So hopefully they'll get more, because they've already partnered with EA. You saw Take-Two take games away, and then they brought back a couple. THQ in today's blog post, they're doing more. You know what I'm saying? So, but there's options out there, and I'm always happy to let people know about the options. And that's why I said it was very important during this time for people to know their options and explore your options. If trying to check out GFN or any of these platforms was just too out of reach for you, and you wanted to do it, fine, I get that. But if it was just because you heard some people mumbling something in some echo chamber I'll say this. I'm going to say this and then I'll move on. There's a lot of people that I respect and I appreciate and I love in the cloud gaming community that I know can get together and come up with some strange campfire stories. The best author when it comes to taking notes is yourself. I don't need another grown man or grown woman to bite into my sandwich and tell me how it tastes. If I can bite into it my damn self, I'm going to do it. And that's what I suggested people do. All right. So, maybe give Boosteroid a try if it's a possibility. I don't know anybody that uses the service that has said anything bad about it, except Ninja Guy X. He did put out a tweet, and that's his experience. You can't doubt it. And other people might have the experience as well, and we don't know why he's having it. But outside of Ninja Guy X, and I've looked at accounts from dozens of people, I haven't seen anybody say anything bad about the service. I haven't tried it yet because I'm not a 1080p gamer. I need my 4K. You know what I'm saying? But we'll still report it. We'll still cover it because we want people to know their options. ER says, GFN is my new home. I need to finish Plague Tale Requiem on Xbox first, but Ubisoft games plus the performance of Battlefield, Avengers, Guardians. Absolutely. And that's only on the priority tier. Okay, that's awesome. Jay Smith says, I'm close to jumping to GFN, but I want to get the most out of the service from a console gamer who loves Stadia. I know. That was my conundrum too, but when I tried it, it simplified things enough for me to where I felt like I was at home. Because here's the thing with PC gaming. Let me tell you guys something. And shout out to my homie King's Blood. He told me this a long time ago, but he did it in a joking, sarcastic manner, but he was 1,000% right. So when I was a real big console gamer, I used to make fun of him because he was a PC gamer and all other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you guys got to take you got to go find out which, you know, what lighting to put, or what setting to put the shadows in, and how to do this and do that. PC gaming is too cumbersome. I'm gonna try to do my best King's Blood impersonation. King's Blood said, Moss, shut up. And no one's trying to hear that trash, Moss. You know why? Because I get the most expensive things, and when I put it in the box, I ain't gotta tweak nothing at all. It automatically works. Shut up, Moss. And I said, oh, okay. But that's the truth. When you get the top of the line graphics card, because you got to think about it, these developers can, well, I don't want to say can only, but feasibly, the performance is going to max out with those top of the line graphics cards, right? So when you get the top of the line graphics cards, there ain't a whole bunch of tweaking that you got to do. You just pop the mug in and just start playing. You might do some things here and there, but no. And so it's easy and convenient, like console gaming. With that being said, a lot of people, only like 1 percentile of gamers, I would assume, can afford top of the line CPU, top of the line GPU, and all that other stuff. So there has to be tweaking that's done. And that's why the majority of people say, yeah, it can be cumbersome. However, the GFN Now, or the GeForce Now, the GeForce Now Ultimate tier puts you in the same place that my brother King's Blood was talking about. Because it's giving you the best GPU and the best CPU handling, there's not a whole bunch of tweaking that you got to do. I go into the main hard-coded settings in the app, make my tweaks there, and then I go in the game and I just play. It's very rarely that I'll go into a game. Sometimes I might say, oh, that's a little too light, and I might turn it down a little bit. But that's not different from what you got to do on a console game, right? That's why PC gaming is complicated. PC gaming gets complicated when you have to tweak things because you don't have the top of the line hardware. You might have mid top. You know, you might have a 3070 or 3090, which is like, damn, still is an expensive card, but it ain't the top. And because it ain't the top, you're gonna have to tweak. You have to play around. But when you got the top of the top, you ain't gotta play around. It gets simplified like console gaming. And that's what GFN does. It simplifies. So even though I'm a console gamer at heart for a lot of ways, and I didn't want to, and I tried dabbling in PC gaming, and again, the tweaking and the optimizing was just, I was doing more of that than I was playing the actual damn game. Because of that, I would always go back to console gaming. But GFN took that away. And for $20 a month, $100 every 6 months. I mean, when you chalk it up to a console, you know, you might spend $500 on a console. GFN, it might take you 2.5 years to reach that console, right? What you paid for that console. But then in that 2.5 years, they want you to buy another console, right? Like they talking now that the mid-gen refreshes are right around the corner, right? Right. Come on now. So that's another $500, maybe $600. You never know. So GFN does simplify a lot of things, man. I have a theory on when people went over to Xbox. So many people, including content creators and the general cloud gaming community, kept putting Game Pass and bigger selection over there. Yeah, I think what it was is that Xbox is the bigger name, and people were shell shocked because they believe so much in the dedicated cloud service and it buckled in their eyes. So they want to have that backup. They don't want to go through this thing of, all right, well, if I go to GFN, what's going to be easier for me? If GFN falls, buying a PC that is capable to play these games I bought, or buying a console that's capable to play these games I bought. And the simple fact that an Xbox Series S is $299. That I think that's what a lot of people were thinking about. Now I got this $300 backup to where if the cloud service goes down, I can just play my games there. That's what I think a lot of people were thinking about. And a lot of people don't game. When a lot of Stadia gamers weren't gaming in 4K. Excuse me. A lot of Stadia gamers were just gaming in 1080p. That's why I think we started getting a lot of games in the latter end more than usual that were that maxed out at 1080p, because they were like, well, 4K is a thing that's slowing down your progress. Then forget it, because we'll get some belly aching, but most of our people play at 1080p anyway. That's what I think was the reality, and why you see so many Stadia gamers go over to Xbox. So that's fine. That's fine. Cold Blood Sensei says GFN cap all-time high. See, hey, look, Cold Blood. Shout out to my good brother Cold Blood. Hey, Cold Blood, you can't say nothing about GFN, bro. Now you maybe have been able to get away with that with Stadia, because you know what I'm saying, Stadia didn't have a library and some of the game, you know what I'm saying. But GFN got over 1,500 games, brother. You need to cut it out. And they're getting games like Atomic Heart. And what is that? The day after, or the next day, last week, or whatever man, come on, stop it. Stop it. I'm not gonna let the GFN slander slide. Stop it. That's my brother. Yeah, we got Lo-Fi Monk in the house. What's going on, man? So is there a TV app for GFN that has the bells? No, and that's what they are working on from my conversation with them. They are working on getting the native app, to do the 4K 60 and get all the bells and the whistles. I think the AV1 codec that we wrote about on CloudDosage. Matter of fact, here, let's do this. We wrote about this on CloudDosage. Shout out to Jack the Slip. Where that AV1 codec that is coming to Geforce Now. It's a codec that's lighter in the bandwidth, but it's beefier in the possibilities. Once that codec becomes available, then I think you're gonna really start seeing it be, the 4K 60 on your stream stick. You know what I'm saying? All like that. But to get that 4K 60 outside of your laptop or something like that, or I think some iMacs or something like that can do it, you gotta have either an NVIDIA Shield, or you gotta have those TVs that have the app built in, you know what I'm saying, the capabilities built into it. Like I think there's a Samsung Game Hub that I think you can do it on now. There's the LG TVs that soon will have the 4K 60 capabilities that are coming soon. You know what I'm saying? But it's on its way. It's on its way. But to get the bells and the whistles on your TV, I think you got to either have the native app on certain TVs, or you definitely will get that performance if you get an NVIDIA Shield Plus or whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called. You know what I mean? But that's a great question. What else we got? They're going to have to update the Shield or something. Yeah, I think they're gonna update the Shield, but they're making it possible to where you don't need the Shield. Suna says GFN's performance is the same as PC game without dealing with the BS of having a gaming PC that has better performance of all the consoles. Hey, look at what we have over $60 a game or 4 months of Game Pass, etc. Yeah. Here's my thing though. I said I ain't gonna do this. That's why I say try all your options. Don't tell somebody to bite into the sandwich and let somebody else's taste take you over. Like, yes, I think that's a very plausible argument, Dusty. I'm with that. On the flips, and I know it's not necessarily your argument, it's an argument that you've seen used out there. My thing is that, like, my favorite food, what's my favorite food? I can't think of what my favorite food is right now. But let's say I like spaghetti. I love spaghetti, but I don't want you using as the marinara sauce ketchup, Heinz ketchup, and putting a little bit of oregano on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, it's my favorite, but I have standards, is what I'm saying. And for some people, even though you get all, there's no point. Like, I would rather pay $30 for a good plate of spaghetti than to pay $1 for a plate of spaghetti where ketchup is the tomatoes, is the marinara sauce. You know what I'm saying? Now there has to be a balance to that. You know what I mean? And I think that a lot of people look at that $15 a month and the fact that you get a whole bunch of games, and they're like, but my standards for playing these games aren't met. And that's where, and if you feel that way and you felt like, oh, well, this is where everybody else is going, so I got to go here. No, try GFN, try the other platforms out. And I would say, give GFN a try, even the priority tier. I'm a fan of the ultimate tier, but give the priority tier a try. Like, ER Gaming in the chat, shout out, CloudDosage.com. They'll let you know off the priority tier, they're having a blast. I think it's a very capable service. That would be nice. And I'm going to be honest with you, that I didn't ask them about. But being that Stadia is down and Boosteroid is playing with that, I don't imagine that Geforce Now wouldn't have it. I could see with Stadia being up that they would limit that. They wouldn't let other cloud services do it. But now that they're down, I could see them, open up APIs for that to happen. All right, let me go to Suda's question too. Oh man, Suda, I had your question. What the hell happened to it? Oh, did you ask about the UI? The TV app needs it the most. Yes, as a matter of fact, here, let's go to the presentation. I was there with Jack to Slip. So please be aware that Jack didn't let anything slide. Jack didn't come to play. That's why that's my bro, man. That's my PNC. That's my partner in crime. I just came there. I'm all gawking over the service, and yeah, man, I love this. Jack ain't come. Hey, yo, Jack don't come to play. Jack was playing no games. He's like, okay, I like what you're doing here, just like what you got in that editorial. Look, Jack keeps it 100% of the time. That's what you have to appreciate about Jack. He's not going to sugarcoat anything for you. He's not going to be rude. He doesn't have a rude bone in his body, but Jack is like, he gonna let you know what it is. So Jack came there playing no games. Jack don't mind me. He came there playing no games. And he was laying it out. And what I liked about it is GFN was very open, and not just imitation open. I'm a former exec. I do a lot more project management now, but I've hosted open houses. I mean, not open houses, but town halls and stuff like that, and round tables where you got it. Somebody might ask you something that might get under your skin, and you got to sit there in front and be all smiles. No, I know all about that. No, they were very open to the questions. But just to give you a taste of what they're dealing with here, there's 25 million members on Geforce Now, 1,500 plus games. They're in over 100 countries, and they got 30 plus data centers. So that's dope. They're working with various devices. Those are the devices that they're working with. The big feature sets, some of the big feature sets, touch native. They're becoming more accessible to Ubisoft games, and then they're bringing ray tracing to xCloud. Here goes some of the day before. Here goes some of the big games that they're bringing. The Atomic Heart. The day before, man, that's going to be huge when those games drop. And it looks like they're dropping a day and date on Geforce Now. We talked about it, 64 teraflops, 5 times the size of Xbox Series X. Full ray tracing with DLSS 3, that's huge. AV1 encoding, and that reflex technology is sick. Y'all need to look up reflex. It's sick. There's a breakdown of it right here, and I can't, it's too much nerdistry. I can't get into all of it. What I will say, Jack is a better representation of that. Hopefully I can get Jack on the mic soon, get him out of his busy schedule. He can break that down for y'all. But here's one thing that it leads to. So they took Rainbow Six Siege, highly competitive game, and they tried it on the Xbox Series X at 120 hertz mode. They had 63 milliseconds of latency. They did the Geforce Now RTX 2080, which is the priority. Again, now that you're working with something on the equivalence of a 2080, but it had 108 milliseconds of latency. Okay. They did the 120 hertz mode for the 3080. You got 60 milliseconds. But now with RTX 4080 embedded, now that it has the NVIDIA Reflex embedded in it, 35 milliseconds of latency at 240 hertz. This cloud service is providing that over the world's most powerful console. I hope someone is clipping this. You can now, someone better be clipping this. You can now, under the Geforce Now Ultimate tier, because NVIDIA Reflex technology is embedded in this cloud gaming service, in this tier, at 240 hertz mode, you can now rely on 30 milliseconds of click to photon latency, as they call it. That's almost 30 seconds. It's almost shaving in half the latency that you're getting on the Xbox Series X at 120 hertz, and that's a native console, the world's most quote unquote powerful console. All right, hopefully it's starting to make sense now. Then with the DLSS technology that's going to be embedded, we're talking about frames per second at 4K ray tracing on. All right, with the DLSS off, you might, for Dying Light 2, you might get like 45, 50. Now with it on, you're gonna get 100 at 4K. Ray tracing on. With it off, all right, again, another 40, 50 for Witcher 3. Now you're gonna get 120. Warhammer Dark Tide, 40,000. All right, you might get like, like 45. Now you're gonna get over 120. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Okay, you got like, 90. Now you're gonna get like 150. Stop it. I no longer want to hear that cloud gaming can't do it anymore. It's a lie. Just showing you more of that. And just again, break it down for you. Geforce RTX 4080 rig with RTX on. First access to the highest performance servers. You get 8 hours session length, up to 4K resolution at 120 frames per second, ultra wide resolution support, and up to 240 frames per second with NVIDIA Reflex. And here's the beautiful thing about the NVIDIA Reflex, that technology that's bringing down the latency. When you're playing games natively on the PC, And this is coming from Geforce NOW, so this is not something I'm pulling out my rear end. Normally when you play games on the PC natively, like DLSS, technologies like DLSS and RTX, they have to be embedded, they have to be built into the game in the design sections. It has to be built, coded into the game, right? But because Geforce NOW is running from their cloud servers, where they completely control the operating system and the codecs and all that other stuff there, you can benefit from the video reflex on games where it's not even built into the game. So there are going to be games that come out that have NVIDIA reflex, that benefit from NVIDIA reflex technology on the cloud, that are not going to benefit from it from a native perspective. That's sick. Don't tell me no more that cloud gaming can't. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm so enthusiastic. You're not hearing this type of groundbreaking technology, moves in technology from any other service. Someone might say, well, MM2K, what about the native cloud games? All right. So I asked him, that was my big question. I said, I can't let Jack outdo me. Jack's out here, he's breaking these mugs down like they got warrants. I said, I can't let Jack outdo me. No. What else? So my big question to them was, I said, you guys are breaking ground with all this fidelity and performance. No doubt about it. And you're carving this lane for cloud gaming in a way that just that's needed and isn't being done elsewhere. I said, but cloud gaming is more than a conduit service for many of us. Many of us want to, that we also see it evolving into this thing that creates games that just can't be done elsewhere. And I said, this may not be something that you guys are working on because you're just building the technology. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys built these video cards and you don't make the games. I get that. I said, but is it possible? Is the way that your technology structure set up, is it possible that an outside company or somebody that's looking to make a native cloud game can attach that to your technology and make that happen? And without hesitation, there was no, no, without hesitation, said absolutely. He said, I'm not, they didn't say that there was any, they didn't tell me about anything in the pipeline. They didn't say, oh yeah, because this game, they said, but there are people doing some very interesting things with our APIs. He gave me a couple of examples. He said, but absolutely. And I just threw that question in out of nowhere. I've never asked anybody at Geforce NOW that anything, like, you know what I'm saying? And they said, absolutely. It's possible. Again, that the caveat being that we were speaking about it theoretically, and it doesn't mean that anything's in the pipeline. They didn't confirm anything in the pipeline. But the veracity and the quickness and without hesitation that they answered that question, that was the biggest moment for me. That was the biggest moment for me that solidified my choice in GFN. I mean, I get it. We hear that other platforms are directly working on native cloud games, and I'll believe it when I see it. But to know that that's, you know, you're ready for that question, that tells me, and again, it's just could just be me, I could be the crazy old man, but that tells me that this is something that you've been talking about. And even though you won't give me details or you won't confirm anything's in the pipeline, it tells me that what we're seeing is just the beginning from Geforce Now. Whether it's something that they're providing themselves via the technology or something someone is utilizing the technology for. Very amazing stuff. Let me go throughout this presentation. Oh yeah, don't forget guys, if you have AT&T, either if you're a new fiber broadband member or if you got a 5G mobile plan, go in there and get your 6 months of the ultimate membership. Go get your 6 months. I think you can do it now. Let me go double check. I know there was a time period to where you couldn't. Oh, January 19th, I think it'll be available. So in 7 days, you'll be able to go to, I think it's AT&T.com/gaming, and you'll be able to go get an opt-in for 6 months of the ultimate membership, whether you're a broadband user or a mobile plan user. You can get 3 months of ultimate membership with the select gaming Chromebooks. Yeah, but it was real amazing stuff. So we're going to round out with some questions. But that to me, hopefully I explained my enthusiasm for the platform. I mean, the biggest thing to me is right now getting that fidelity out there and showing to gamers that this is something that's competent and capable without a shadow of a doubt. I think that's number one. But number two is, longevity for the long term. How are you structured? How do you see yourself as far as helping to usher in that development that we need, that native development that we need? And yeah, I was ecstatic when, at the veracity and the swiftness that they answered my question. And it wasn't like, oh yeah, for sure. No, it was like, it's definitely possible. Again, not saying anything's in the pipeline, not confirming anything, but there's people doing some amazing things. The quote, I believe, was there's people doing amazing things with our API right now. And they gave me a couple of examples. So definitely great stuff. Was very glad to be part of that. And, can't wait to have more conversations with them. And this is another thing that I'll tell you too. Okay, so I'm not the biggest proponent of xCloud for my you know what I'm saying? But whatever. And I know I've said some things about Xbox. I really don't expect them to do much as far as outreach with me. But there's a lot of people doing the Lord's work for Xbox and on the cloud side. And they just don't seem interested or care to talk to anybody about it at all. I haven't heard much from Luna. Like, Luna hasn't reached out. And I've never really battered Luna. I've always said it was secondary to my Stadia experience at the time. But I've always been, and I've actually said, I thought, once everything is said and done, that the two top dogs would be Stadia and Luna. Haven't really heard anything from Luna. Oh yeah, they have a very friendly Twitter post, right? That'll send you drawings and stuff like that. That's cool. But GFN has been very, very outgoing in extending the olive branch, despite the history. And they've really been talking to at least me, but I know more than me. They've been talking, I can speak only for myself. They've been talking to me and Jack, keeping us abreast of certain things, answering questions when they can. They've been very hands-on. This is the most hands-on experience I've ever witnessed as some covering gaming. I just have to put that out there. And again, coming from somebody or a group that's not looking, they're not really looking for the movement as, you know, as community wise, as far as Stadia is concerned. They want to just do their part to provide the technology to bridge the gap. I think it's, you know, we're going to do our part to really get gamers together, and it might just organically grow to where there might be some type of similar situation, you know, at any scale, to where there's a community behind Geforce Now. You know, you never know. But for a group who's not looking to do that, this is some of the most hands-on communication I've ever experienced. And it's not like desperation or anything like that. It's nothing like, it's a care. It's a, you know what? You're trying out the service. You're giving it an effort, and we want to be available to you. Yeah. I want to extend the kudos to the Geforce Now team because of that. I just, again, I've, in the years of covering gaming, never experienced that. It's one I really appreciate. And no, we you know, there's things that we don't agree all the time. Like I said, Jack, we've seen the editorials. Jack is to the point, and he's not going to sugarcoat things that via his observations. And we need that. We need that not to be compromised, and Jack is not going to be compromised. However, in lieu of that, to where other platforms would probably like be standoffish because we won't be compromised. GFN, like, no, we're here, we're available. Let's talk. Let's talk about what you need to talk about. And I'm going to be honest with you, it concerns me that other platform holders who are not getting the criticism that Geforce gets are nowhere near the level of outreach that they're at. And to say that Geforce Now, to say that NVIDIA, oh, they're doing this because they need, no, this, again, you would have to have the conversations to understand, no, it's something that they're really into. They're really into, and they're doing it because they want to, but they're not doing it because they feel like this is a must. We're at a critical mass and we have to do, no. And there are some platforms out there from a cloud perspective that need to do this. That needed, read between the lines, that needed to do this. And they haven't. So, with that said, I'm gonna answer some more questions and then we're gonna close out shop. But that's why I really appreciate the time and the effort that they give. They're doing some great stuff over there. ER says, but via the Apple, my laptop is far from the Stadia experience apart from the occasional login saga. I don't know if they're talking about GFN or xCloud. Response time. Is it worth getting a Shield TV? I've always been apprehensive because for cloud gaming, to me, to buy extra peripherals seems, but people say that the technology in the NVIDIA Shield, if you got it, go ahead and get it. They say it's definitely worth it. People feel when they got it, it's definitely worth it. I don't think they're going to drop a new version of the Shield TV. I don't think so. He says, and you don't have to worry about storage, says Suna. Let me see here. Hell yeah, it would. Booster Wood is doing it. GFN can definitely do it. Yeah. As far as the direct streaming to YouTube, absolutely. Like, I wonder why they haven't so far. I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe I get a feel that GFN has a good grasp of where, now they do. I feel like they have a good grasp of where their community is and what pushes them over. And I think they feel like that maybe direct streaming isn't the biggest need for their community right now. I don't know. Cloud Validation in the house. What's going on, good brother? He's just looking forward to trying this out. We should all be thankful that the PC gamers in the real world aren't buying 4080 cards, so NVIDIA gave them to us. Don't you have to get a GTX card on your PC, even an old outdated one, to take advantage of the new update fully? I don't know about that. I know I guess from an AI upscale perspective, yeah. If you want that AI upscale portion of it, which you can still get the 4K RTX, I believe. But I think to get the AI upscaling, which makes it even look more crisp, I think you need a new card. I mean, you do need like a GTX card. That is true. Yeah, and I don't think that's their thing. I don't think their thing is, and I'm okay with that. I don't think their thing is to, kind of like how we had Stadia Day and Grace and them join us. I don't think that's what they do. I think they're going to leave that into the hands of the content creators. That being said, again, they're very open, and I don't think that means that they won't support it at all. And I think they would probably help get some traction and stuff like that. I think there's some things that they're willing to do, but I don't think they're going to sit there and create a day. I think it would be indicative of us as the creators to put a day together and say, hey, by the way, we got this rolling. We're wondering if you guys would be able to this, that, and the third. It's a conversation, but they're always willing to have conversations, and I'm okay with that. Because I've done plenty of things elsewhere and haven't heard anything. You would have thought I wasn't a creator there. Now, this is a very interesting point. Cloudy says, with Sony updating its cloud service supposedly happening in March, improving the performance offering PS5 games, do you think Xbox will answer the call? No. I think Xbox's problems, here, let me do this. I think Xbox's problems, Cloudy V, is that their infrastructure is, I don't trust the infrastructure. I think the infrastructure of putting Xboxes in server blades, even though they've extended the capabilities, I think it still hamstrings the capabilities to what the box can do. And I think that's part of the reason why they're struggling so much to get better performance. Yeah, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe that they will, but we'll soon see. All right, you guys, I gotta go. Shout out to Geek to Sneak. Good to see you, my good brother. Late as always, serving an ice cream truck. But I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for checking me out. So everybody's coming in now at 4 o'clock. Maybe I should start doing this at 4 o'clock. All right, but thank you, everybody. If you're catching this now, rewind it back. Please watch the video on demand. And if you guys come in volume, I'll do more of these. You know what I mean? But they're making a big demand for MM2K over on the hardcore gaming side. So that's where I've been. All right, y'all. Appreciate all of y'all though, as always. Until next time, have a wonderful